it's your friend Hot Dog here, and today we are making carrot cake cinnamon buns
with a blood orange cream cheese frosting.
Holy shit. Alright, let's go.
First things first, let's mise out all of our ingredients. We'll need eggs, carrot juice, sourdough starter, flour, sugar, salt, butter, and shredded carrots. And of course, most importantly, a scale. Start by weighing out all of your liquid ingredients, your carrot juice, eggs, and sourdough starter. And you know I always give credit where credit's due. The first time I ever saw carrot juice going into a brioche dough was at Montclair Bread Company by the wild woman herself, Rachel Wyman. So shout out to Rachel for the inspiration behind this recipe. Once you have your eggs and carrot juice weighed out, I pour my sourdough starter in last so it doesn't get stuck at the bottom. Next, scale out all of your dry ingredients, excluding the salt. We'll add that in later. Into a stand mixer fitted with a spiral attachment, add in your dry ingredients and then your wet. We're going to start on a medium-low speed, mixing all of the ingredients together until they are incorporated. Add in your salt after the first stage of mixing. After 5 minutes, you'll notice that the dough is pretty soupy and there's no gluten development, so we're going to mix on medium-high speed for another 5 minutes until a window pane forms. Once your gluten bonds are strong enough, you're going to add in your butter. And it's important to work your dough until it's pretty elastic, because once you add in your butter, if your dough isn't strong enough, it won't hold the fat, and your dough will completely break and it's a mess. Mix in your carrots at the very end. Dump your dough onto a floured surface and slap and fold a couple of times to bring it back together. Once your dough is back together, grab a container and spray it down with some oil. Place your dough inside, and then we're going to cover and let it bulk proof on the counter for 3 hours. Okay, so once we're back from running errands, we are going to flour our workbench and dump our dough onto the table, rolling it out into a nice even rectangle. This dough is sticky, so use flour as needed, but don't go overboard or else it will be hard to roll up your cinnamon bun and close the seams. We're keeping our filling simple by using brown sugar and cinnamon. Once you have that mixed together, wet the surface of your dough with water and apply an even layer of your brown sugar mix, breaking apart any lumps you find. Now I'm team nuts, so I am crushing up some walnuts and I'm adding that to the filling as well. But hey, if you don't like them, leave them out, it's all good. And now my favorite part, rolling up our cinnamon buns. Starting from the top edge, begin to tuck and roll your cinnamon buns all the way down to the bottom. And once you have a nice snake situation going on, spray your baking dish with a lot of Pam. Or grease it with butter, or use a piece of parchment. Grab a serrated knife and cut 2-inch thick buns out. You should be able to get 12 cinnamon buns out of this recipe. Next, cover and let your dough proof on the counter for another 2 hours, and then place in the fridge overnight. 12 hours later, pull your dough out of the fridge and allow it to come to room temperature. Gently press your finger into the dough, and if it springs back slightly, it's ready to be baked. Bake at 350 for about 25 to 30 minutes, depending on how well your oven bakes things. The best way to know when your cinnamon buns are ready is to use a thermometer to check the internal temperature. We want between 190 and 200 degrees Fahrenheit. I like to take my Cinnabons out of their baking dish before they're cool so they don't get stuck to the pan. Let's just bask in all of her glory for one moment. Look at how beautiful that dough pull is. Oh my god. Okay, while our Cinnabons are cooling, let's make our blood orange cream cheese frosting. Start by mixing together equal parts softened butter and softened cream cheese. Sift in your powdered sugar to taste. I know everybody is different. I like mine more on the tangy side, so I don't use that much sugar. Once your sugar is mixed in, add in a little bit of vanilla paste or extract, and then the juice and zest of 1 blood orange. Paddle together until it's light and fluffy. Once our Cinnabons are cooled, we could finally begin piping on our cream cheese frosting. And the final step is to just grate a little bit of fresh cinnamon on top of each one. And just remember, there is never any shame in blacking out and eating the entire batch in one sitting. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, stay crusty.